Tensions flared across both sporting and political arenas over the weekend as the AFL delivered high-impact performances and the Middle East descended further into chaos. West Coast co-captain Oscar Allen collapsed behind play in the fourth quarter of his team's 34-point loss to Carlton, sending shockwaves through the stadium as trainers rushed to his aid. It was a tough day for the Eagles, who were outplayed by a Carlton side determined to push for finals. Allen's condition remains uncertain, and the club has yet to release a detailed update on his health. Meanwhile, over in Adelaide, Port's Mitch Georgiades put on a masterclass, kicking 7 goals in a stunning solo display. His efforts propelled Port Adelaide to a comfortable 25-point victory over Melbourne, despite a brilliant individual goal from Kysaiah Pickett. Melbourne's fans were left frustrated, as their team once again fell short in a crunch match. Brisbane has also suffered a major blow, with key defender Payne ruled out for the rest of the 2025 season. Scans confirmed Payne ruptured his patella tendon during their 11-point defeat to the GWS Giants. The Lions are now scrambling to restructure their defensive unit, with finals aspirations hanging in the balance. On the international front, the headlines turned grim as conflict between Israel and Iran escalated dramatically. Foreign Minister Penny Wong defended Israel's right to protect itself but avoided confirming whether Israel's surprise bombardment of Iranian targets violated international law. In a 2-day assault, Israel targeted Iranian military sites, prominent nuclear scientists, and a major gas facility linked to international exports. Iran claims the strikes killed 78 of its citizens, sparking outrage and igniting retaliation. In response, Iran launched missiles toward Israel, killing at least 3 people. The United States assisted Israel's defense systems, intercepting many of the incoming missiles. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared that Iran should expect more devastating consequences. His statement came during an emergency briefing where he said Israel would not back down. Iran, in turn, suspended its scheduled nuclear discussions with the US, raising fears of a broader regional war. The global community is watching closely, with world powers urging both sides to de-escalate. Senator Wong revealed she had spoken directly with Iran's foreign minister, urging a return to dialogue. She also contacted Israel through its ambassador, calling on both parties to act with restraint. "We urge restraint because what happens tomorrow matters to all peoples in the region," she said. Wong emphasized that the consequences of further escalation would be dire for innocent civilians on both sides. She stated, "The world is urging restraint, not just from Iran, but also from Israel." Observers note that Wong's comments stopped short of condemning either side, reflecting Australia's cautious diplomatic approach. The United Nations has called an emergency session, but no consensus has been reached. The conflict has already disrupted key oil and gas supply routes, sending global energy prices higher. Middle Eastern allies are divided, with some backing Iran's right to retaliate while others support Israel's self-defense stance. Protests have erupted in major cities, demanding immediate ceasefires and humanitarian intervention. In Tel Aviv, thousands gathered urging Netanyahu to avoid dragging Israel into full-scale war. In Tehran, demonstrators called for vengeance and declared support for the country's missile response. Social media has been flooded with graphic footage of the bombings, civilian casualties, and escalating rhetoric. The conflict is having ripple effects globally, with nations reviewing their security and foreign policy positions. Meanwhile, AFL fans are preparing for another week of fierce competition as the season builds toward finals. Port Adelaide's victory puts them in a strong position to make a deep run this year. Carlton's resurgence also raises hopes for a late-season surge. But concerns remain for teams like West Coast and Brisbane, both hit hard by injuries. Oscar Allen's collapse has become a viral clip, with fans sending messages of support. The AFL community, while focused on the game, is not isolated from the global tensions unfolding. Players and clubs have increasingly used their platforms to speak out on political and humanitarian issues. Some AFL stars took to Instagram to express solidarity with victims of the Middle East violence. Others called for peace and the protection of innocent lives, regardless of nationality or religion. This convergence of sports and global affairs highlights how interconnected the modern world has become. While fans cheer on their teams, they do so against a backdrop of rising global instability. For now, both the AFL and international diplomats move forward, each facing battles of their own. As the season heats up and geopolitical tensions rise, Australians watch with hope and anxiety. One arena promises triumph and heartbreak in sport, the other, in life and death decisions on the global stage.